Peas and my peeps, I'm AngryDel and this is the Bobcat Showcase. So you may have noticed this little bad boy that's just appeared in the event store, and it's a welcome addition, I have to say, because it's a pretty decent fully automatic rifle. So we're just going to have a little look at the stats here and how it fares up against the competition, because I think this one might actually be a little bit overpowered. So the most obvious comparable, I think it's fair to say, is the Siege Breaker. So I'm just going to bring that up if I can find it. There you go. And when you look at the stats, I mean, the first thing that is immediately obvious is they're both light ammunition guns. They've both got exactly the same fire rates at 12 rounds per second. But the Bobcat's slightly up on power and headshot damage, so it's at a slight advantage there. And on top of that, it's got a hefty 50 round magazine size compared to the Siege Breaker's 30. So in that sense, power, fire rates on par, power's slightly higher and the magazine size larger. So, you know, on initial impression, it's looking like it's going to be a better gun. Now, on the downside, the range is down considerably. So it's down to a point where you're basically not going to be able to sort of attack laser eyes and lobbers and things like that at a reasonable range without putting yourself in danger. So it's going to be a bit more of a high risk gun, should we say. You're going to have to get a bit more balls deep to get the best out of it. And the reload time is slightly longer there as well. I say slightly, a whole second longer. And on that sort of gun, that's not really ideal, because when you are sort of mowing down mobs or going after mist monsters with it, you don't want to be stuck in a 3-second reload time. That will be reduced when we slot, say, like an urban assault class soldier or anyone with the reload perk. But it's still potentially going to cause some problems. So anyway, I think the best way to find out whether or not this gun's got a good setup is to test it in the field. So let's get out there and kill some husks, guys. So for this one, I'm going to go with an urban assault main in the form of Skull Trooper Jonesy. So that's going to give me a number of assault rifle perks, including debilitating shots, which gives me up to 45% more damage by my 5th shot. The normal 10% assault rifle damage. So debilitating shots, advanced tactics for more power, lingering pain as well, which gives me 5 stacks on debilitating shots, and it's got kneecapper, so that's how you get it up to 45%. Steady aim, which helps with recoil, although on this gun, as we'll see in the field, it doesn't actually have a lot of recoil, so that one's not that important. Quick clip for reload speed, which is, because as we saw, the reload time on this particular gun is quite long. Make it rain and rain faster, giving me a 50% increased fire rate after a headshot, which is fantastic on a gun like that, because I will be hitting, headshots regularly. I don't have the extended magazine clip actually with Urban Assault, but everything else there is going to help massively, basically in causing maximum DPS with this particular gun. So let's have a look at the support and the tactical. So I've got Wukong there, which is going to give me 24% assault rifle damage on top of the perks that I'm getting with Jonesy. So again, just boosting the power a little bit. And I've gone with Rescue Trooper Ramirez. Not really the best tactical option if you want to sort of increase the power or damage resistance or whatever it is of your main. But what that will do is give me 16% of my ammunition back via ammo recovery. So in terms of the ammo churn on this one, as it's quite a high fire rate assault rifle, it's going to help just to stop me from burning through too much ammo too quickly. But anyway, let's dive into the field. So as the particular Bobcat that I have is level 82, I'm going to dive into a level 82 map. So this one is a Ride the Lightning. I'm going in solo, so I'm not going to have any boosts from teammates. So this should be a pretty well-balanced indication of how well this gun performs. But obviously when you are playing in a team, it's going to be more powerful than what you're seeing here if you're playing a similarly leveled weapon in a similarly leveled level. Does that make sense? Who cares? Right, let's dive in. So as you can see, this particular Bobcat is level 82. It's Malachite at the moment, so yeah, pretty rubbish. It's not fully leveled, but obviously playing in an 82 is just going to show you exactly what it's capable of on a level playing field. The actual perks that it comes with are fire rate, damage, physical damage, which I don't think is the best thing to have on something like this, magazine size, damage to mist monsters, and damage dealt with this weapon snares the target. So to be honest, I don't think that's a very good out-of-the-box setup. For a start, this perk here, you really want the damage to snared target, since that's your unique perk, and that way you'd just be doing a little bit more damage in that respect. Magazine size, I'd probably change that to reload speed. I might leave it as magazine size. I tend to find reload speed to be more useful because I find myself reloading more often than not when the magazine isn't empty. So overall I prefer that perk, but I think that one's down to personal preference. Go either way with that. Physical damage, you know, not ideal. Again, when you're playing a gun like this, you're going to be shooting at everything, not just the mist monsters and the lobbers that are never elemental. So you are going to be shooting at elementals with this one. So really, I think for this one I'd go with an energy build so that it evens it out a bit. It's not going to be at max power, you're going to be at minus 33% damage, but that's better than being at minus 75% if you're playing against an unfavourable counter elemental. And then damage and fire rate, again, you know, you might want to go with a flat damage build, you might want to go with a crit rate, crit damage build. I think that's down to personal preference. For this particular gun, I would probably go with flat damage, actually, as I see it more as something I'm going to use on the mobs. But saying that, you know, if it's a viable tank killer, you might want to go with a crit rate build, as they do tend to do a larger DPS total on average. But anyway, let's get out there and just see how this one performs. So as it's physical, I'm going to be getting minus 50% damage against these elementals, so I'm not expecting it to perform particularly well. Yeah, I mean, it's killing them in reasonably good time. It's very, very stable, as you can see. I can fire this from the hip, no problems at all. Oh, that is seriously rapid. I mean, you don't really want to be sitting there trying to clear large mobs like that with it. But on the tankier stuff, that's pretty decent. The actual fire rate, it feels really good on a gun this stable. I mean, if you've got a really high fire rate gun but it's unstable, it's not that useful. But on something like this, you can see that's hardly budging. What the hell just happened there? You just get back up from the dead and die again. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty good going. I mean, it took those laser eyes down quickly, and I didn't have to reload. Actually, I did have to reload between two of them, but I think if I had a full magazine going into that and I landed all my headshots and didn't waste any rounds, I could have probably killed 2 laser eyes with 1 magazine. Let's clear this little mob out here. Right, so I won't use any skills this time, just to see how good it is with wave clear. I mean, one thing I will say with these ARs is I generally find them to be more useful for mist monster and tank killing as opposed to wave clearing, because although, you know, they've got large magazine capacities and the rapid fire, so you can kill the mobs relatively quickly. When you've got multiple mobs like that, it's just easier to you know, get something out that's a one-shot style gun or explosive or something like that to clear them quickly. But on the Huskies and the more tanky stuff, I imagine this will be great. So let's have a go on these chaps. Right, I don't know what is going on with this. What the hell just happened there? Wow. Epic. Sort your servers out. Okay, hopefully this will be alright now. Have noticed a few lag issues the last few days, so you know, I think it's since this update there's just a few glitches, but it's working. And as you can see there, that cleared those guys very quickly. Great accuracy on it, really good. I mean, not struggling at all with the headshots, even from the hip. It's a little bit less stable from the hip, but it's not terrible. And I don't think there'd be many issues running and gunning. You've got to burst it a bit, as you can see when I'm firing from the hip like that. Crosshair is getting bigger under rapid fire, so it's not quite as useful as it is zoomed in, but it's still doing the job. And it's great for these. He's got up again. What is going on? It's great for these misties, but as you can see there, it's not. 1 magazine isn't going to take down 2 of them. But I think if you were playing in a team, obviously, as I say, you're going to get a bit of a damage boost. And it would then probably take down two laser eyes with 1 magazine, which is great going. That's what you want really from a gun like this, if you are planning on using it to deal with the mist monsters at sort of mid-range. Right, let's go and find an encampment. There's one over there, so see how it fares up in there. I'm going to need a few grenades and things. Oh shit, it's right there. I'm going to need a few grenades and things if I get like a high density of the mini mobs, that sort of thing. But going to try and run and gun and take out the like the ranged threats, like the beehives. There's no laser eyes on this one, but there was. That's what I'd be aiming for. So it's not really going to be, as I say, the most useful gun for dealing with these mobs, but it is working. You know, it is working relatively well there, especially considering, as I say, those guys are elemental, and this is on a physical build. So I am at quite a big damage disadvantage. But really, I want to find some smashers and tankier stuff, so huskies or laser eyes, to see how it works against those guys. But let's try it on this elemental, because he should be a bit of a bitch to kill. Oh yes, there's a smasher as well. Yeah, I mean that was taking a bit of time there, but this is the real test. How is it going to work on a smasher? Okay, that lagged a bit there again, but as you can see, his health has actually shot down to, well, he's almost dead. So yeah, I mean that is a really good sign. It's a really good sign. Again, if I was playing in a team, there's no question I would have been able to down that smasher with one magazine there, and that is exactly what you want from an AR that's appropriately leveled. If you can down a tanky foe, oh, should we go down here? You can down a tanky foe with one magazine, you know that it's not going to cause you problems. You're not going to have reload panic. You're not going to be, you know, struggling to sort of take those kind of targets out. So, again, a laser eyes. I mean, it's killing it in good time. Oh, and I've actually killed 2 there in one magazine. So, again, I mean, because of this lag, it's making things a little bit difficult. But unfortunately, guys, there's no way I can avoid that, really. Absolutely nothing down here. That was a waste of time. Go and fuck this mob up quickly, actually. Can't really resist it. It's got, I have to say, it's got a really nice feel to it. I mean, whether you're running and gunning or you're zoomed in, it doesn't feel like it's going to flutter at all. It doesn't really feel difficult to aim. As you can see, it's not brilliant at... oh, shit balls. Oh, there's an encampment there. It's not brilliant at clearing the mobs out. And I really don't think that's what it's specifically aimed for. It's more for doing stuff like that, taking the laser eyes out at kind of short to mid range. It's just, I think, a question of whether or not that... oh my god, where did he come from? It's just a question of whether or not that range is going to be an issue comparatively to the Siege Breakers. So the Siege Breaker is 500 Fortnites approximately up on range to this bad boy. Oh god, don't die, don't die. So incidents like this where I really... bloody bees do my head in. Where I've got a guy like that, he's quite far away. He can hit me, but can I kill him at full damage? Now, that did do a good job there. So this sort of range, no issues at all. And I think, to be honest with you, a little bit further out, laser eyes is still going to be able to hit you, but they're less of a problem because you can easily just get a wall up in front of you or even dodge... you know, their laser beam sometimes. We've got another little encampment here. This is perfect. So there's 2 laser eyes and an encampment. That encampment's going to trigger as soon as I start shooting. So it's really important here that I can kill these guys quickly. Let's see how this works out at this sort of range. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of short range, really, but... it was working, you know, with that guy up on the mountain earlier at slightly further distance, so... and it is clearing these mobs out pretty efficiently. It's not like I'm landing every headshot here. And as I say, I wouldn't normally just be going at them with an AR. I'd just like one grenade really, just to either one hit them and kill them, or just thin them out a little bit. And then you'd go at them with the assault rifle or a shockwave even if you've got it. That will normally clear the mob instantaneously in one hit. But that did a good job. I'm actually really liking this gun. I've never been a massive fan of the Siege Breaker, if I'm honest. I prefer the Gravedigger, I think, as a fully automatic assault rifle for tank killing. For me, I'm going to pick the Gravedigger over the Siege Breaker every time. But I appreciate not everyone has a Gravedigger. You know, Siege Breaker might be your only option. But more so, the fact that this gun has got fully automatic light ammo capabilities, whereas the Gravedigger uses medium ammo. So in terms of ammo churn, it's a good one to sort of switch between, and this is absolutely perfect to test what this works like at mid-range. Probably shouldn't have shot the barrel because I want to Test the actual damage from the gun. Oh my god. Laser eyes, there you go. That's fantastic. If I can get them at this sort of range... I'm not 100% if that's doing maximum damage. I think it is dropping off ever so slightly, but it's killing them more than quick enough. That's a really, really good sign. You know, even at that 3,500 range, if it will kill laser eyes that quickly, then it's a good gun, basically. And it's even taking down... I mean, these elemental... It's hard to tell because of the lag there again. If it's taking down these elemental mobs at a reasonable pace... At this sort of distance, again, really good sign. I think, you know, my initial impression of this is a much better gun than the Siegebreaker. It's not necessarily the best fully automatic light ammo option. I still think that the Hacksaw is probably the best option in that respect. So if I had to pick between this and the Hacksaw, because the Hacksaw has got a 4,000 range, it uses light ammo, and I think it's slightly more powerful. Now, admittedly, the fire rate's down, so the Hacksaw's is something like 10.89 to this, which is 12, but, you know, you're talking about 1 round per second. It's not an awful lot, and it's up on power, and it still uses light ammo, so... You know, I think overall, it's not going to be my preferential choice, but... I have to say, it is a really cool and fun gun to use. I mean, it's not often that I get an event weapon these days in Fortnite that I think, yeah, I actually can see myself using that on a regular basis. Fun to play, it's powerful, does what it's supposed to do, and it doesn't waste ammo. So, you know, this is doing a reasonable amount of damage per round for light ammunition. The ammo churn, I mean, I killed a lot of stuff and I've used, what, maybe, I'm assuming I started with 5,000 rounds. I might not have done. I have to check that back, but I've used about 800 rounds so far, but I've killed quite a lot of stuff. And, you know, it's the same ammo churn as the Siegebreaker anyway, so if you're used to using a Siegebreaker and the ammo churn from that, you're going to be getting exactly the same results. But anyway, I think now would be a good time to see if we can find some smashers perhaps, or even just groups of mist monsters where I'm under a bit more pressure to kill them quickly and at medium range as opposed to short range. So let's just see what we can find. Oh, we're back where we started. Okay, I'm going to head inland and just see what I can find. You never know, might spawn a smasher here. Let's just wait and see what's in this little mob. No smashers, but a nice sized elemental mob to test this out on. Again, this lag is just, this is killing me. This is killing me. You really need to sort this shit out, Epic. It's been prevalent a lot lately, and it's been winding me up because I've been playing sniper rifle type builds quite a lot. And yeah, if you get any sort of lag with a sniper and you're missing your headshots, then, you know, it's not good. It's not fun to play like that, and it's very difficult to play like that because obviously if you miss the headshot and your build is entirely headshot focused, then you don't do much damage. But for something like this, not so much of a problem really, because you don't have to land every single headshot. Tell you what though, it is really tearing stuff to pieces. I'm liking this gun a lot. You know, I'm almost tempted to say the Hacksaw was going to be my next gun that I look to level up, particularly because I don't feel I've really got one option for tank killing, which is my Gravedigger, my soldier class builds, my assault rifle builds. But I don't have any light ammo options, so it's kind of between this and the Hacksaw at the moment. I think the Hacksaw is probably better overall for the reasons I discussed earlier, but and that, I should say, that's borne out the fact that you can change all the perks now. You couldn't before, so there weren't additional damage perks. I think from memory you can add 20% damage, which you couldn't before, which sort of puts the Hacksaw considerably up on overall DPS. It's hard to tell if these guys are even dying because look at the lag on that. Bosh. Oh, he just wasn't dead, that guy, actually. Okay, so... But you can see, you know, I'm getting minus 50% damage against those elementals, and that is doing a good job. And I'm going to test this gun out as far away as I possibly can. So the damage I should be doing per round is 3,543 without a crit and without a headshot. With a headshot, 5,300. So I'm going to test it at a bit of range just to see what sort of damage it spits out. Now bear in mind, with debilitating shot, my first shot is going to get a 9% damage boost, and then another 9% every shot afterwards, so it's not going to be 100% accurate. But yeah, you can see there, if that's doing about 2,000 on a headshot. Is that a headshot though? It's hard to tell. That was definitely a headshot. I think that was a crit, in fact. It should be doing maximum. That looked like maximum damage there, so that might be the cutoff for maximum damage range. So I think it's fair to say though, this sort of range, if you can do that much damage and it is either hitting maximum damage or very close to maximum damage, it's not really a problem, because like I say, lobbers, laser eyes, I mean, yeah, on a base defense you're going to be attacking those lobbers from miles away. You might even be up in a sniper turret shooting them, you know, before they even start throwing shit at your base. So in that circumstance, yeah, you need the sniper. But I'm talking more for sort of those battles where you're in, you know, either an encampment or even on a base defense where you're kind of out in the field and there's a lot of stuff attacking. You've got laser eyes coming up on you, that sort of thing. That range is, for me, that's completely acceptable. It's not really going to cause me any problems. If they start going beyond that range, then I'm always going to go for a sniper rifle over an assault rifle anyway. So I might as well do this. I think the turrets are probably going to kill everything, so I'm not really going to have much to shoot at here. But get a laser eyes and it doesn't get attacked by that turret. Again, you can see it's killing it in good time. It's not really causing me any problems at all. Gonna get the, oh shit, that did. We're gonna get the laser eyes and probably take her at the end of this. Oh, these little buggers, these new shielders, I'm not a fan of those. Although you can snipe them. If you've got an obliterator, you can shoot straight through the shield and kill them. And look how quick that was. Oh fucking hell. What, you got two of them. Nice. Scraped it. Yeah, I'm liking this gun. The damage is impressive, I have to say. It's compared to, you know, other 82 rifles I've tried in exactly the same situation. This thing is killing stuff quickly, efficiently, and the accuracy is superb. You know, we saw earlier I killed a smasher in almost one magazine. It's taking around two laser eyes out per magazine as well, which is, you know, that's pretty good going. The tankier Huskies aren't a problem. They're getting taken down quickly. It's a good gun. It's a really good gun. You know, I'll go as far as to say, other than the Hacksaw, this is probably the best light ammunition AR in the game at the moment. And, you know, given the build it comes out the box, as I say, this isn't the best. I think you could do much better than that if you flip these around a bit, especially with energy there. Changing that to snare damage, changing fire rate for a damage perk. That is going to bring the fire rate down, obviously. I mean, it's at 17 at the moment, so in fact that doesn't look right. How can that be 17? Okay, maybe that's just bugged out. But out of the box, it should be 12 rounds. So, and I'm getting my Jonesy headshots perk as well, so I'm getting an increased 50%. Fire rate when I land a headshot, so this would be the normal fire rate, and then if I land a headshot, that seems to be the same, but it does go up. I don't know if it shows in the stats or not. I've never actually checked that. It should do. But yeah, you can see it's firing a lot quicker there. So, you know, if you're not playing Jones, you're not going to get that, but you could say that literally about any assault rifle, so it's going to have the same results. A situation like this, you know, it's not going to kill stuff quick enough. So I'm going to have to use my abilities there. But for its intents and purposes, it is doing the job, and it's doing it nicely. It's killing laser eyes. It's killing the Huskies and stuff at a reasonable range, at a reasonable pace. It's hard to tell if I'm hitting stuff properly here, because as you can see, it's bouncing all over the place. It really is ping spiking. And this is definitely not my Tinterweb. So Epic, sort your bloody servers out. She's dead now. Epic, that's your fault. You've got blood on your hands. But anyway, back to the gun. Yeah, good gun. I can highly recommend it. I think if you don't own the Hacksaw, if you don't own a decent light ammunition assault rifle already, level this up, because this is a good one. And, you know, I can see myself using this in Twine level 100 maps when it's fully leveled up with no problems whatsoever. And it's, you know, again, a lot of the time with these guns, it's down to the feel of it. And for me, this is the sort of gun that I like. It's stable on the move. You can land headshots. You can, you know, run and gun without any problems, really, whether that's point targets or the tankier stuff. But at the same time, it lays down significant DPS. So when you are going at a smasher or, you know, laser eyes, husky, whatever it is, even a taker, you know it's going to kill them in good times. And you're not going to be good time, and you're not going to be panicking too much. So yeah, get grinding. Make sure you buy this one. I think it was 1,680 gold, which isn't an awful lot, to be honest. You know, that's probably a couple of hours worth of grinding, and then you can get your hands on one of these legendary schematics. I would look to recombobulate those perks. I don't think they're the best perks. I might do a follow-up video on this one once I've maxed it out to show you the build that I've gone with and how well that works. But yeah, in between time, you know, it's holding its own. As with most of these event guns, you don't need to fully max them out for them to be useful. But obviously, to get the most bang for your buck, you will want to do that in the long term. So anyway, guys, get your heads down, get grinding, get one of these schematics, and get out there and kill some husks, because I have to say it's one hell of a lot of fun using this bad boy. And until next time, take care of yourselves. GG, well played, and laters, fam. Laters.